Don't you love this work by Gareth Sansom? He's collaged random bits of images from magazines with random bits of his own painting and drawing and words, and he's made it all work in a fabulously random way. If you're looking for ideas for your own artwork, this is a great way to play and explore and to just see what happens. Hello and welcome to MPIG Creativity Online. My name's Jill, I'm the educator at the gallery, and today I would like to talk to you about standing on the shoulders of giants, learning how to borrow ideas from other artists and turn them into your own. So you need some ordinary magazines, pencils, textas, whatever other materials you like to work with, and choose the bits and pieces that take your fancy, tear them up, cut them up, and away you go. And you'll find yourself, as you do your own work, you have to be thinking about the elements of design, and so did Gareth Sansom too, as he was making his. You have to think about colour and line and tone and shape and balance and all of those things. You can't help it. And each of us have our own aesthetic sensibilities, and as you do works like this, you become more and more familiar with the sorts of things that you're interested in as an artist and the sorts of things that work for you. You'll know when it's working for you. It'll just somehow or other look right. Some of them will be easy, they'll just fall into place, and some of them you'll struggle with. That's the way it is. And Gareth Sansom made a number of these and selected the 12 that he put together as a final artwork. So expect to have some that just don't work for you. Gareth Sansom is in our collection, and he won our National Works on Paper Award in 2006 with this work called Life After Bacon, which was inspired by the ideas of another artist, Francis Bacon. So he also was standing on the shoulders of giants before him. Gareth Sansom, he paints and draws and collages, and he's a printmaker, and he very much is interested in surrealism and popular culture. His work can be seen as being quite biographic as well. It's about his life and death and everything in between. He's a contemporary Australian artist, and he certainly likes to make works that's hard to understand. It's quite complex and difficult and strange and unusual, which is what's lovely about it. With his work, Life After Bacon, he deliberately wanted it to have a low aesthetic. He wanted to work with cheap materials, and so he worked back into some pages out of an old sketchbook, and he went to the newsagents and bought a magazine, happened to be one on machinery, and he bought some cheap watercolours at Woolworths, and he had some pencils and things, and he worked back into his sketchbook pages with collage, deliberately going for things that didn't make sense, that were strange combinations of things that just were bizarre and unusual and interesting in their own way, not because they made any sense whatsoever. The text that Gareth Sansom used are random things to do with the life of Francis Bacon, which you wouldn't know that unless he told you. So I was thinking about what I would use for the text for mine, and I'm always inspired by the cartoons of Michael Leunig. You might know his work. And so I have a book of his cartoons, and I randomly chose little snippets out of that. And if you feel like adding text the same way that Gareth Sansom has, you'll have to find something random that suits you. So I'm hoping you have a go at this and explore what works for you, not worrying about getting it right or wrong, pasting over bits you don't like with more white paper, and seeing where it goes. And have lots of fun finding your own inner Gareth Sansom. See you next time.